Jai Gurudev, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us today about the revered figure of Lord Hanuman. To begin, can you explain who Hanuman is and his significance in Sanatan Dharma? Jai Gurudev, yes, Hanuman is an immortal being, an embodiment of strength, devotion, and humility. He is the son of Anjana and Kesari, and through the blessings of Vayu, the wind god, Hanuman was born with immense powers. His life and actions are primarily recounted in the Ramayana, where he serves as a perfect devotee of Lord Ram. He symbolizes devotion or bhakti, selfless service, and unwavering faith, making him one of the most adored deities in Sanatana Dharma. We know that Lord Hanuman has countless stories associated with him, reflecting his might and dedication. Could you highlight some of the most significant anecdotes from his life? Yes, one of the most famous stories is when Hanuman, as a child, mistook the sun for a ripe fruit and attempted to eat it. This act displayed both his innocence and immense strength. He also learned all scriptures and wisdom from Surya, the sun god, further highlighting his intelligence and thirst for knowledge. Another well known story is when he forgot his powers due to a curse from the sages and later rediscovered them when Jambavan reminded him of his divine abilities. This lesson reminds us that, like Hanuman, we sometimes forget our potential until circumstances or a mentor awaken our inner strength. Hanuman's unmatched devotion to Lord Ram is seen in several episodes, particularly during his mission to find Mata Sita. He crossed the ocean, found Mata Sita in Lanka, and ultimately burned down Lanka's city with his fairy tale. Yet, even after accomplishing such heroic feats, he remained humble and attributed everything to Lord Rama. His carrying of the Sanjeevani mountain to save Lakshmana is another iconic story that exemplifies his selflessness and dedication. The stories from Sundarkand are particularly beloved. Could you share insights from those chapters? Yes, Sundarkand is one of the most important sections of the Ramayana, focusing on Hanuman's journey to Lanka to find Mata Sita. Every story from this Kanda teaches us about overcoming obstacles through faith, determination, and devotion. One of the first stories in Sundarkanda is Hanuman's leap across the ocean. It wasn't just physical strength but also his deep faith in Rama that helped him overcome the challenges presented by Surasa, Simhika, and the ocean itself. He relied on his inner strength. A message from Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji often emphasizes tapping into your inner potential. Willful faith can help you conquer the impossible. After crossing the ocean, Hanuman meets Lankini, a demoness guarding Lanka, whom he defeats with ease. He then proceeds to search for Mata Sita, exploring Ravana's palace and eventually finding her in Ashokavatika. This teaches us the importance of perseverance. No matter how tough the journey, we must continue with the mission of righteousness. Once Hanuman finds Mata Sita, he conveys Lord Ram's message, assuring her of Rama's forthcoming rescue. Sita's faith in Rama and Hanuman's encouragement stand as a testimony to unwavering devotion. Another striking episode is when Hanuman sets Lanka on fire with his tail. Even in anger, Hanuman remains focused on justice, not destruction, emphasizing control strength in all these episodes. Hanuman's humility shines. He accomplishes so much, yet remains a humble servant, always attributing his success to Lord Rama. Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji often speaks about the deeper meanings of devotion. How can Hanuman's qualities be relevant to modern world, particularly through the lens of Gurudev's teachings? Gurudev speaks about Hanuman as a symbol of both the ideal disciple and the ideal leader. Hanuman represents unwavering devotion or bhakti, but this devotion is not passive, it is active, full of dynamism, courage, and determination. Hanuman's strength comes from his devotion, and his ability to overcome any obstacle comes from his deep faith in Rama. In modern life, Hanuman's qualities remind us to stay grounded in our devotion while taking decisive action in the world. Gurudev often says that bhakti is not about escaping from life's challenges, but facing them with grace and strength. Hanuman teaches us to balance humility with power. No task is too small or too big if it is done in service of a higher purpose. Hanuman's ability to remember his forgotten powers resonates with a central teaching of Gurudev that we all have incredible potential within us, often hidden beneath layers of doubt and ignorance. Through practices like Sudarshan Kriya, meditation, and selfless service, we can reconnect with that inner strength just as Hanuman did when Jamavan reminded him of his capabilities. Moreover, Hanuman's humility is an important lesson for all of us. Despite his unparalleled power, Hanuman never sought recognition. He was always focused on service, serving Lord Rama and the cause of Dharma. In today's world, where ego and recognition often drive people, Hanuman's example teaches us the importance of serving with humility without attachment to outcomes. Hanuman's role in the battle against Ravana and his subsequent actions have been monumental. How can those events be interpreted in a spiritual context, especially in terms of overcoming inner demons? Yes, the battle against Ravana and his demons can be seen as a metaphor for the inner battles we face. Ravana represents the ego, attachment, and desires, while Hanumana and the army of Rama symbolize purity, selflessness, and strength. The burning of Lanka by Hanuman symbolizes the destruction of the ego through the fire of knowledge and devotion. Hanuman's encounters with various demons along his journey represent our own struggles with negativity, be it anger, doubt, fear, or greed. Hanuman, with his unwavering faith and selflessness, conquers these demons, showing us that when we surrender to the divine and focus on our higher purpose, we see and we can overcome all obstacles. Gurudev often highlights that our greatest battles are not external but internal. Hanuman teaches us to remain steady and focused, overcoming inner demons with the strength of devotion and discipline. Hanuman is known to be Chiranjeevi, immortal. How does this concept of Hanuman's eternal presence connect with the philosophy of modern spirituality? Hanuman being Chiranjeevi signifies that the values he embodies strength, devotion, humility, and service are eternal. These qualities transcend time and remain relevant in every age. Hanuman is believed to be present wherever the Ramayana is recited, symbolizing the eternal relevance of dharma and righteous action. In modern spirituality, this can be seen as a reminder that divine qualities are not bound by time or place. Hanuman's eternal presence reminds us that the potential for divine strength and love is always within us. As Gurudev says, the divine is always present, but we need to open our hearts to experiences. Hanuman's immortality is symbolic of the timeless nature of devotion, courage, and selfless service, qualities that, when embraced, can elevate our lives. Lastly, how can we incorporate the teachings of Hanuman into our daily lives to live with more strength, devotion, and purpose? Hanuman's life offers countless lessons that we can apply every day. First, his devotion to Lord Rama shows us the power of surrender. When we surrender our ego and dedicate our actions to a higher cause, we tap into an infinite source of strength. Second, Hanuman's humility teaches us to approach life with a spirit of service, whether in our careers, families, or communities. We can practice selflessness and work for the benefit of others, just as Hanuman did for Lord Rama. Third, his bravery reminds us that no challenge is insurmountable when we have faith. As Gurudev often says, trust in the divine and take action with confidence. Hanuman exemplifies this balance of trust and effort. He never doubted his purpose or his ability to fulfill it. Lastly, Hanuman's presence in our heart symbolizes the eternal presence of divine grace through meditation, prayer, and practices like Sudarshan Kriya. We can keep that connection alive, allowing us to navigate life with clarity, strength, and devotion. Thank you both for this enriching discussion. The life and teachings of Lord Hanuman, combined with the wisdom of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji, provide profound guidance for the modern life. Thank you. It was a pleasure. Hanuman's example is timeless, and through his stories, we are reminded of the power of faith, service, and selflessness in living a fulfilling and righteous life. Jagadev. That was indeed an insightful conversation. I would like to dive deeper into some points. Hanuman's devotion to Lord Ram is legendary, but how can we understand this devotion in the context of modern relationships, such as between a teacher and a student or a mentor and a mentee? Hanuman's relationship with Lord Rama goes beyond conventional devotion. It's an unshakable, unconditional love where Hanuman sees no separation between himself and his master. In today's context, this can be seen in the bond between a teacher and a student, a mentor and a mentee. When we serve with such selflessness and see the teacher as a guide to our higher self, the relationship becomes transformative. Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji often emphasizes that the true student or disciple isn't just someone who follows orders, but someone who absorbs wisdom and acts out of selfless love without ego. Hanuman embodies this ideal completely. Despite his immense powers, he always saw himself as a servant of Lord Rama, not seeking any personal gain. In modern life, this teaches us to approach relationships with humility and reverence, focusing on growth and learning rather than seeking validation or reward. That's a powerful insight. I would like to touch upon another significant story, the Sanjeevani herb episode, where Hanumana lifted an entire mountain to save Lakshmana. How does this story symbolize overcoming challenges in life? This is indeed one of the most dramatic and powerful stories from Hanuman's life. Lakshmana was gravely injured in battle, and the only cure was a Sanjeevani herb located in the Dronagiri mountain. When Hanuman couldn't identify the specific herb, he lifted the entire mountain and brought it to the battlefield. Spirituality and spiritually, this story teaches us that when faced with challenges, we must not be limited by doubts or indecision. Hanuman's approach shows us that sometimes, instead of overthinking or doubting ourselves, we must act decisively and with full conviction. Gurudev often reminds us that obstacles are part of life, but when we are connected with our inner strength, much like Hanuman's unwavering faith in Rama, we can lift mountains. It is also a lesson in problem solving. Instead of being paralyzed by uncertainty, Hanuman chose to take the entire mountain, ensuring he did everything possible to save Lakshmana. This symbolizes taking comprehensive, bold action when faced with life's challenges. Hanuman's wisdom is often overshadowed by his strength. Can you elaborate on his intelligence and wisdom and how these attributes complemented his physical prowess? Yes, Hanuman's intelligence is as extraordinary as his strength. His wisdom comes from deep self awareness and devotion. He was not just a warrior, he was a scholar well versed in the Vedas, capable of deep diplomacy and strategy. In Sundarkand, we see him outsmart several enemies and obstacles without needing to resort to violence. For example, when he first encountered Sursa, a demoness blocking his path across the ocean, he used his wit to escape her grasp by shrinking his size. He didn't need to fight her. Instead, he cleverly adapted to the situation. Similarly, when dealing with Ravana, Hanuman used diplomacy to offer Ravana a peaceful resolution before resorting to burning down Lanka. In modern life, we can learn from this balance. Physical strength or action is necessary, but equally important is intelligence and wisdom to assess a situation and act accordingly. Gurudev says that wisdom is the ability to respond to life appropriately. Hanuman says every move was calculated, strategic, and aligned with his higher purpose of serving Lord Rama. You mentioned earlier that Hanuman is immortal or Chiranjeevi. How do we understand the relevance of this immortality in contemporary times? Hanuman says immortality isn't just physical, it is symbolic of eternal values that transcend time. His qualities, devotion, strength, wisdom, and humility, are timeless and immortal. These qualities live on in the hearts of those who remember him and those who strive to live by these values. In the modern world, where we face constant distractions and challenges, the presence of Hanuman reminds us that we too can tap into a source of strength that is eternal. Gurudev often says that spirituality is about being connected to something timeless, something that doesn't change. Hanuman, being Chiranjeevi, reminds us of the eternal power of devotion, service, and inner strength. His immortality also symbolizes the ever present support of the divine. Hanuman is said to appear wherever the Ramayana is recited, which signifies that the divine is always present and ready to support us whenever we turn to it with a devotion. Hanuman's eternal presence is a metaphor for the presence of divine grace in our lives. Moving to his personality, Hanuman's humility, despite his strength, is a recurring theme. How does one develop such humility in today's achievement oriented world? Hanuman's humility is a reflection of his deep understanding of his role as a servant of a higher cause. No matter how much he accomplished, whether lifting mountains, defeating armies, or saving lives, he always attributed everything to Lord Rama. He never sought credit for himself. In today's world, where achievements and success are often tied to recognition and self promotion, Hanuman's humility offers a valuable lesson. True humility comes from knowing that we are instruments of something larger than ourselves. Gurudev often reminds us that when we see our actions as service to the divine or humanity, the ego naturally drops away. Hanuman's humility wasn't about belittling himself, but about acknowledging the source of his strength, Lord Rama. In our lives, we can cultivate humility by remembering that every achievement is a result of not just our efforts, but the support of others, the environment, and the divine. Another point you mentioned earlier is Hanuman's role as a problem solver, especially in high stress situations like during the Battle of Lanka. How can we apply this in our personal and professional lives? Hanuman's problem solving skills were a result of his clear focus, calm mind, and unwavering faith, even in the most intense situations. He didn't panic. When faced with obstacles, he assessed the situation, remained calm, and acted decisively. In our personal and professional lives, we can learn from Hanuman's example by cultivating mental clarity and emotional resilience. Practices like meditation, pranayama, and Sudarshan Kriya, as taught by Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji, help us maintain a calm and focused mind even in stressful situations. Hanuman was able to accomplish the impossible because he never let fear or doubt cloud his judgment. One of Hanuman's key strengths was his ability to stay centered no matter the chaos around him. In modern life, there where we are constantly bombarded by information and pressure, staying centered is crucial for effective problem solving. By keeping our minds clear and focused on our higher purpose, as Hanuman did, we can make better decisions and handle stress more effectively. Hanuman is often referred to as the embodiment of both bhakti, devotion, and shakti, or strength. How do these two qualities coexist in him, and how can we integrate them into our own lives? Hanuman perfectly balances bhakti and shakti. His strength of shakti comes from his devotion bhakti to Lord Rama. Bhakti isn't passive, it's a dynamic force that fuels action. Hanuman didn't just worship Rama, he acted on Rama's behalf with immense power and determination. This shows that true devotion gives us the strength to face life's challenges. In our lives, bhakti and shakti can coexist when our actions are guided by love and devotion. When we are devoted to a higher purpose, be it serving humanity, the environment, or the divine, we draw upon an inner strength that goes beyond our limited capacities. Gurudev teaches that devotion brings out the best in us because it aligns us with our true nature, which is infinite. Hanuman's life is a testament to this principle. In the modern world, people often see devotion as separate from strength, but Hanuman shows us that devotion is the source of true strength. By integrating bhakti and shakti, we can live with purpose, energy, and resilience. Lastly, Hanuman's journey to Lanka is filled with obstacles, yet he triumphs over all of them. How can we draw inspiration from this journey for our own spiritual progress? Hanuman's journey to Lanka, as depicted in Sundar Kanda, is indeed a metaphor for the spiritual journey. He faces numerous challenges, crossing the ocean, encountering demons, searching for Sita, and confronting Ravana's army. Each of these challenges represents the obstacles we face on our own path to self realization, such as doubt, fear, ego, and ignorance. Hanuman's unwavering focus on his goal, serving Lord Ram and finding Mata Sita, kept him going despite the difficulties. Similarly, on the spiritual path, we need to keep our focus on the higher purpose. Gurudev often says that obstacles are part of the journey, but with the right focus, discipline, and grace, we can overcome them. Hanuman's journey teaches us that faith and perseverance are key, no matter how insurmountable the obstacles appear. When we align ourselves with a higher purpose and act with devotion, the path becomes clear. Hanuman's success in Lanka symbolizes the triumph of the spirit over adversity, a lesson that is as relevant today as it was in ancient times. Thank you both for sharing such profound insights. This conversation has not only deepened our understanding but has raised our awareness about Lord Hanuman. Thank you both for sharing such profound insights. Hanuman's qualities has made us stories more relatable to our lives. I realize that we have covered so much, but I would like to ensure more points. One important story that we haven't touched on yet is Hanuman's interaction with Bharata, Lord Ram's brother, during the time when Hanuman was delivering the news of Ram's impending return to Ayodhya. When Hanuman flew to Ayodhya to inform Bharata of Ram's victory and return after the war, Bharat initially thought Hanuman might be an enemy. However, once he understood Hanuman's mission, Bharat was overjoyed and praised Hanuman for being such a dedicated servant of Lord Rama. This episode highlights Hanuman's diplomacy and respect for Rama's family. His humility is again visible here, as he doesn't seek to be a hero or demand attention, but simply fulfills his role as Ram's messenger. The story reminds us that in life, being a true servant of a higher purpose often involves quietly fulfilling our responsibility without the need for recognition. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji often speaks about the importance of respecting all relationships and approaching people with a servant like attitude without ego. This story exemplifies that spirit in today's world. Humility in our personal and professional relationships can lead to more harmony and mutual respect. Another significant episode that often goes unnoticed is Hanuman's association with Bhima, one of the Pandava brothers in the Mahabharata. This story takes place when Bhima, known for his immense strength, meets an elderly monkey Hanuman in disguise on his path in the forest. Bhima, confident in his strength, tries to move the monkey's tail to clear the way but fails. Only after multiple attempts does Bhima realize that this monkey is no ordinary creature and learns that it is his elder brother Hanuman who is born from the same wind god or Vayu. This story not only demonstrates Hanuman's humility but also his respect for lineage and relationships. Even though Hanuman had the strength to move mountains, he didn't flaunt it in front of Bhima. Instead, he used the situation to teach Bhima a lesson in humility and respect for elders. This episode is a wonderful example of how strength without humility can be destructive. Hanuman teaches Bhima and all of us that no matter how powerful we become, we must remain grounded. In our lives, especially in leadership positions, we may have the ability to influence others, but true greatness lies in wielding that power with humility and wisdom. This is a theme Gurudev often emphasizes. Real strength comes with responsibility, and we must use it wisely. But both these stories beautifully reflect Hanuman's balance of strength and humility, which seems to be a recurring theme in his life. Could you share any other stories where Hanuman's ability to adapt and use his intelligence rather than just brute force is highlighted? A classic example of Hanuman's adaptability and intelligence comes from his meeting with Mata Sita in Lanka. When Hanuman finally reaches Sita imprisoned in Ashoka Vatika, he doesn't rush into battle mode or make hasty decisions. Instead, he calmly assesses the situation and approaches her with a gentle, humble demeanor. To gain her trust, he first recites the story of Lord Rama and only then does he reveal who is. The encounter demonstrates Hanuman's emotional intelligence. Rather than being impulsive, he uses empathy and compassion to communicate with Mata Sita, understanding her mental state and carefully choosing how to introduce himself. This is a critical lesson for us today. Sometimes we need to be sensitive to the emotions and perspectives of others rather than charging forward with our own agenda. In leadership and personal relationships, emotional intelligence is as important as the logical intelligence. Gurudev often speaks about the power of listening and understanding before acting. Hanuman shows us that strength isn't just about physical power, but also about understanding the hearts of others and acting with compassion. That's an important point. Another lesson known story of Hanuman that demonstrates his extraordinary intelligence is the episode where he intercepts a spy of Ravana named the Shuka, who was sent to gather information about Rama's army. Hanuman could have easily attacked or killed the spy, but instead he captured him and brought him to Lord Rama. He used the opportunity to gather information from Shuka and allowed Rama to handle the situation diplomatically. The story reflects Hanuman's sense of judgment and strategic thinking. Instead of reacting violently, he assessed the situation and ensured that the spy's presence was used to their advantage. This level of discernment and restraint is crucial in our lives, especially in moments of conflict. Gurudev always highlights the importance of not reacting impulsively but responding thoughtfully, keeping the bigger picture in mind. Hanuman exemplifies his wisdom in every action he takes. That is fascinating. Hanuman's discernment and strategic thinking truly set him apart. Another point that comes to mind is Hanuman's ability to serve as an intermediary between different characters. For instance, his role as a mediator between Lord Ram and Sugriva. How does this role highlight his diplomatic skills and trustworthiness? Hanuman's role as the intermediary between Rama and Sugriva is another important facet of his character. When Rama and Lakshmana were searching for Mata Sita, they encountered Sugriva, the exiled king of the Vanaras. It was Hanuman who brought the two parties together, acting as a diplomat. Hanuman arranged the meeting and ensured that the alliance between Rama and Sugriva was established. Hanuman's ability to bring people together shows his trustworthiness and his skill in diplomacy. He was able to navigate complex relationships and bring unity in times of conflict. His loyalty to Sugriva and his devotion to Rama allowed him to build bridges and form alliances in our own lives. The ability to mediate and bring people together is a valuable skill, especially in moments of disagreement or conflict. Gurudev often emphasizes that a true leader is one who can unite people, not divide them. Hanuman's role as a mediator teaches us that we can achieve great success by fostering trust and creating harmonious relationships between individuals and groups. Another often overlooked point is Hanuman's deep love and care for nature. Throughout his life, Hanuman is seen interacting with natural elements, whether it's leaping across oceans, carrying mountains, or dwelling in forests. He had a profound connection with nature, respecting the environment and its resources. This connection is most visible in the episode where he uproots an entire mountain to save Lakshmana. He didn't harm the environment unnecessarily. He only took what was needed and then returned the mountain safely to its place. This story offers an important lesson in ecological responsibility. Hanuman shows us that nature is a part of us and we must take care of it with the same love and devotion that we offer to the divine. In today's world, where environmental issues are becoming more urgent, Hanuman's respect for nature reminds us to act with environmental consciousness. Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankarji also speaks about the importance of caring for the environment, seeing nature as sacred. Hanuman's actions resonate deeply with this modern call to action to protect and nurture the planet with the same care and reverence that he showed in his time. These stories truly bring out different dimensions of Hanuman, from a wise strategist to an environmentalist, a diplomat, and a devoted servant. Are there any last thoughts or anecdotes that encapsulate Hanuman's essence and that we can carry with us in our spiritual journey? Yes, one last story I would like to mention is Hanuman's role after the Ramayana. Though the war was won and Rama's reign began, Hanuman remained devoted. When Lord Rama was ascending to his divine abode, Hanuman chose to stay on earth, dedicated to continuing his service to humanity by spreading the name of Rama and helping people in need. This story shows Hanuman's infinite service. Even after fulfilling his duties, he chose to remain in the world to uplift others. This represents the highest form of service or seva, which is also a core teaching of Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. True seva is not about personal gain, it's about giving. Even when there is nothing to be gained in return, Hanuman's life is a reminder to serve selflessly and to continue spreading love and wisdom throughout our lives without attachment to outcomes. Absolutely, one final point that I would like to share is Hanuman's embodiment of pure faith and surrender. His unwavering belief in Rama gave him the strength to perform the most impossible tasks. Gurudev often says that when you have faith, miracles happen. Hanuman is the living embodiment of this truth. Every leap he took, every mountain he moved, every battle he won was not because of his physical prowess alone, but because of his faith in Lord Rama. As we navigate his our own personal journeys, we can learn from Hanuman's example to surrender fully to the divine, trusting that with faith we too can overcome any obstacle, accomplish the impossible, and live a life of deep devotion and service. Thank you for this enlightening conversation. It is clear that Hanuman's stories are not just tales from the past, but profound teachings that resonate deeply with our modern lives. Whether it's through humility, devotion, strength, or wisdom, Hanuman continues to be a guiding light on the path. Thank you once again for all the rich insight shared. It's clear that Hanuman's life is filled with invaluable teachings. Before we conclude, are there any other important anecdotes or points that you can tell us about Hanuman and his qualities and their relevance in our lives today? Absolutely. One important anecdote that we haven't yet discussed is the significance of Hanuman's role as a protector of devotees. After the events of the Ramayana, Hanuman is said to have remained on earth not just to serve Lord Rama, but also to protect and guide those who invoke his name. This protector role is especially prominent during rituals like Hanuman Jayanti and Sankat Mochan, where devotees often believe that calling upon Hanuman during times of difficulty will help them overcome obstacles. The title Sankat Mochan, which means the remover of obstacles, is not just symbolic. There are numerous accounts of Hanuman coming to the aid of those in danger, whether physically, mentally, or spiritually. His protective energy can be seen as a form of divine grace that is always available to those who seek it with sincerity and devotion. This idea of divine protection ties into the broader concept in the Bhakti tradition that the divine is always ready to assist us in times of need, provided we surrender and ask for help with a pure heart. Another important aspect of Hanuman's character is his ability to transcend limitations. One particularly fascinating story is when Hanuman forgets his own powers due to a curse and needs to be reminded of them by others. This curse was given to him in childhood to prevent him from misusing his powers. When the time came to help Lord Rama, it was Jambavan, the wise bear in Rama's army, who reminded Hanuman of his capabilities. This story is deeply symbolic. It suggests that we, like Hanuman, often forget our own potential, our own divine abilities. We become entangled in our daily struggles, thinking we are limited by our circumstances. But in truth, there is immense power within each of us. A reminder from Jamavan represents the role of a guru or a wise mentor who awakens us to our own potential. Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji often says that the purpose of a guru is to remind us of who we really are, unlimited, powerful beings. Hanuman's journey of rediscovering his powers as a powerful metaphor for our spiritual journey of self realization. That's an excellent point, and expanding on that, another story that illustrates Hanuman's wisdom and discernment is his visit to Patala Loka, the netherworld, during the battle with Ahiravana, a demon who had captured Rama and Lakshmana. This episode is not commonly known but is important in understanding Hanuman's bravery, wisdom, and spiritual depth. When Hanuman learns that Ahiravan plans to sacrifice Ram and Lakshmana, he ventures into Patalaloka and using his cleverness and strength not only defeats Ahiravana but also extinguishes the sacrificial lamps that were fueling Ahiravan's power. This action signifies Hanuman's ability to conquer even the most fearsome enemies and navigate complex situations. The symbolic message here is that Hanuman can dive into the darkest places representing ignorance, fear, or negativity and bring light and liberation for devotees. This story offers hope that no matter how dark or difficult life may seem, Hanuman has the ability to guide us and out of that darkness if we call upon him. Hanuman's story of overcoming darkness and realizing one's own potential are deeply inspiring. His role as both a warrior and a protector shows the vastness of his abilities. Is there any other story or teaching related to Hanuman's attitude towards service that could add another dimension to our understanding? Yes, one of the most beautiful stories that emphasizes Hanuman's spirit of service is from the final yajna performed by Lord Rama in Ayodhya after the completion of the Ramayana. In the story, Hanuman refuses to sit and take part in the formal yajna as a participant because he wishes to continue serving Lord Rama. While everyone else is seated, Hanuman chooses to stand guard at the door, saying that his greatest joy and duty is to be of service to Rama at all times. This story demonstrates Hanuman's humility and unwavering dedication to seva or selfless service, even when offered a place of honor. Hanuman opts to serve. This teaches us that true fulfillment and contentment lie in serving others without any expectation of recognition or reward. In our modern lives, this is particularly relevant whether it's in our work, families, or communities. Hanuman shows us that the most meaningful way to live is through selfless service. This is a key teaching in Art of Living as well, that service is not just an action, but a state of being where our hearts are always aligned with the well being of others. Adding to that, another powerful story comes from the time when Hanuman was entrusted with protecting a sacred jewel that Lord Rama had given to Mata Sita. Instead of wearing the jewel, Hanuman decided to break it open to see if it contained Lord Rama's presence inside. When questioned, Hanuman replied that for him, Lord Rama should be present in everything he does or receives. His deep devotion meant that even a jewel was meaningless unless it embodied the presence of Rama. This story teaches us about the depth of devotion that Hanuman had, which went beyond material possessions or external appearances. It speaks to the idea of true surrender, where one's entire life and all actions are dedicated to the divine. For us, this story is a reminder that our actions and intentions should always be aligned with our highest values and spiritual principles. Gurudev often speaks of living life in alignment with the divine will, where every action becomes an offering, just as Hanuman's life was an offering to Lord Rama. These stories bring out even more facets of Hanuman's character. His humility, service, and deep devotion are incredibly inspiring. Are there any concluding thoughts or last stories you would like to share about how Hanuman's example can guide us in today's world? Yes, one final story that encapsulates Hanuman's essence is his relationship with the Ramayana itself. It is said that Hanuman wrote his own version of the Ramayana on rocks, detailing his experiences with Lord Rama. However, when he showed it to Valmiki, the author of the original Ramayana, Valmiki was overwhelmed with emotion and humility, as Hanuman's version was so beautifully written that it made Valmiki's own work seem inferior. Seeing Valmiki's reaction, Hanuman did not hesitate to destroy his version out of respect for Valmiki. This act of humility and respect shows Hanuman's lack of attachment to his own greatness. Even though his version of the Ramayana was superior, he didn't seek to glorify himself. Instead, he honored Valmiki's work and stepped aside. This story is a profound lesson in non attachment and humility. Hanuman teaches us that even our greatest achievements should be let go of, and that true greatness lies in honoring others and supporting their success. In today's world, where personal accomplishments are often celebrated above all, Hanuman reminds us that selflessness and humility are the highest virtues and values. I would add that Hanuman's enduring presence in temples and rituals today is a testament to his relevance in every age. From performing the Hanuman Chalisa to observing Hanuman Jayanti, devotees continue to seek Hanuman's blessings because he represents timeless virtues like strength, devotion, and service. In conclusion, Hanuman's life and stories are not just mythological tales, but living teachings that guide us in how to live with purpose, strength, humility, and devotion. Whether we are facing personal challenges, looking for spiritual growth, or seeking ways to serve others, Hanuman's example is a constant reminder that the divine is always within us, and with faith and surrender, anything is possible. Thank you both for sharing these final stories and insights. It's clear that Hanuman's life offers a treasure trove of wisdom, and his qualities are as relevant today as they were in ancient times. His balance of strength, humility, service, and devotion is something we can all strive to emulate. This has been a truly enlightening conversation, and I'm sure our listeners will take away many profound lessons from Hanuman's life. Jai Gurudev. Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure to share the wisdom and stories of Hanuman, and we hope that his teachings continue to inspire and guide everyone on their spiritual path. Jai Gurudev, the depth and richness of Hanuman's life are truly endless, and the stories we have discussed offer invaluable lessons for everyone. However, considering the vastness of Hanuman's legacy, there might still be a few more key stories or teachings that we haven't covered. Are there any additional anecdotes or points that come to mind which should be included to provide a fuller understanding of Hanuman's character and influence? Indeed, we have covered many essential stories, but there are always additional layers of depth to Hanuman's life. One often overlooked story is when Hanuman helped Bharata, Lord Ram's brother, during Ram's exile. When Ram was delayed in returning to Ayodhya at the end of his 14 years of exile, Bharata, who had been ruling Ayodhya in Ram's name, was ready to sacrifice his life because he had promised to hand the kingdom back to Rama at that exact time. Sensing this, Hanuman flew to Ayodhya in time to inform Bharata that Rama was on his way, thus saving Bharata from self sacrifice. This anecdote teaches us about Hanuman's role not just as a devoted servant to Rama, but also as someone deeply connected to all of Rama's families and followers. His loyalty extended beyond his duty to Rama alone. He also played a vital role in protecting those around Rama, ensuring their safety and well being. Another important story to highlight is Hanuman's appearance during the Mahabharata, specifically his encounter with Bhima, one of the Pandava brothers. Both Hanuman and